Guys, coming to this one in fantasy, I needed Dak to throw 4 touchdowns. Look what he did. Let's get this thing going.
Here's a blitz. Cowboys pick it up. Prescott is protected. Now Crosby gets in, and the ball is out. Raiders on top. 3 points off the turnover. 50-yard try for the best in the game, and Aubrey knocks it from 45 yards out. Good snap, good hold. The kick is Jason Jobs on that last effort by Pickens. Here's Lamb, wide open, backs in for the touchdown. End zone, touchdown, Cowboys. Ferguson. That's tipped and picked. Intercepted by Marquise. The game backs him up 5. Prescott able to step into it. It's got Pickens. Good move. Nice cutback and a touchdown. Good snap, good hold. Kick is good. Second down and goal. Prescott wide open. Touchdown grab. Quick throw. Tucker looking for blocks. He's into the end zone for a touchdown. Watch out here, Genty, Ezeraku, it's a safety.
Best year they've had here in Vegas.
17-point ball game, and now a miss on a drop, and there was nobody there.
He certainly gives them a lot of flexibility in what they're able to do and how teams have to play them.
It's 4th down, and Smith is sacked by Odighizuwa.
And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun NFL. Please like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed that Thursday night game in some sense, especially if you're a Cowboys fan, as you hold off the Eagles from winning the division. I guess another week, not really. But anyway, wrapping up Week 11, we saw the Cowboys have an offensive explosion in some ways. It was their best offensive performance in a couple weeks now. Again, we look back to the Cowboys team. They had not won a game since Week 7, where they dominated the Commanders at home. They played a similarly skilled team, and again, outside of the first drive and some other outrageous decisions, they were able to not find a way. They were able to figure things out, and again, put up a 21-point second quarter and figure things out from there. But for the Cowboys, they now go to 4-5-1. It sets up a monster home game next week against the Eagles, which will more or less decide how early in the season the Eagles will clinch that division. But meanwhile, for the Raiders, we talked about how, again, they did have a decent start at least. I mean, they moved the ball somewhat, but it was more this defense playing well, especially against an offense that benched their top 2 receivers for the first drive for whatever reason. Also, this game was to honor Marshawn Kneeland. Again, RIP to him. But for the Raiders, again, they fall at 2-8. This is now their 4th straight loss. They have now had 2 separate 4-game losing streaks this year, kind of the opposite of what's happened to Philly. But on top of that, for the Raiders here, they now, again, just offensively completely did absolutely nothing after that first quarter. I guess they scored. I didn't even know they got in the end zone, but for them, it doesn't really get much easier, as next week they do have to play the Browns at home. So, I mean, tank bowl galore with that one. But for the Cowboys in this game, Dak had his best game of the season, in my opinion, going 25, 33, 268, and 4 touchdowns. Most of his passes, not every single one, but most of them were put in the right spot. It's 4 touchdowns, won me the game in fantasy, so I was very pleased with how he played. But, rarely missed any throws. He was very good over the middle of the field. A lot of his timing was back this week, which I liked a lot. Again, when you go up against pass rush that usually isn't getting a ton of pressure on you, it's definitely a good situation to get back into rhythm. Javonte Williams was able to put up 93 yards in this game. He was very physical. Again, established that early. Helped him get him rolling. George Pickens had one of his better games of the season. Is again him and CeeDee Lamb combined for 210 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. Again, George Pickens' biggest play. Either was the one where he stretched 3 yards short of the goal line for the touchdown. That was hilarious. And then obviously had the 37-yard touchdown where he made like 3 guys miss. But he had a monster game. He looked very similar to what we saw again in the Carolina a couple weeks ago. Or now it's 4 or 5 weeks ago, like a month ago, though. CeeDee Lamb, he really hasn't gotten completely going this season. This wasn't, again, one of these insane games, but he still had a touchdown. He ran a lot of good routes. It's better than what we've seen overall this season. Louis Key was somewhat decent out of the backfield there against the fullback. Jake Ferguson caught a touchdown, as well as Ryan Flournoy, or how do you pronounce his name? Him and Kelvon Turpin, if I'm not mistaken, started this game, too. But anyway, for this defense, a lot of it was Deron Bland and Malik Hooker being physical on the outside against these receivers. A guy like Trey Tucker couldn't do much of anything. Obviously, he's a very good receiver, but he was basically their best option on the Raiders side of the ball. Donovan and Zirico, I think, had 4 pressures. They didn't get a record a sack until I think what was it, like the early part of this. No, it was the first drive. My bad. James Houston, again, coming over here from the Lions. Again, he's a very talented player. Quinn Williams, again, had a big 1.5 sack game. Again, you did see Jerry Jones smiling after one of those. Osa Digizua had the game-clinching sack, and I guess Kenny Clark had half a sack too. So the interior dudes got it done. Again, the edge rushers aren't the greatest. Sean Revel in his debut, I don't think played like maybe 15% of not 15, like 20% of the snaps, but he did look pretty decent out there. DeMarvin Overshown, very similar in terms of the snap count there as well. Brandon Aubrey had his only field goal attempt, which was a 50-yarder. For the Raiders, Geno Smith continues to not take care of the ball completely well. Again, I did like the fact he took a little bit more sacks this week, and it's obviously not a good thing for your offense, but it's better than a turnover. His interception wasn't really his fault. That was on Trey Tucker. Tyler Lockett, I kind of forgot was on the field. I guess Trey Tucker got in the end zone too. Brock Bowers had a decent game. Not again you're used to seeing from him though. Outside Ian Thomas's one explosive play, didn't have the greatest game. Genty had one of his worst games of the season, only 6 carries for 7 yards. I mean, like, what else are you going to say with that? Like I said with Geno, he wasn't really that accurate over the middle of the field, which kind of like diminished any sort of caretaking of the ball in this game. But other than that, for this defense, I mean, there were definitely some things to note. Again, Max Crosby had one of his better games of the year. Again, both safeties, Isaiah Paul-Lamau. I guess Kupalu Kelly too. But Jeremy Chin, they were very good. Jamal Adams, I think, got a little bit exploited in coverage or just exposed. I don't know. One of those two there. The D-line was absolutely atrocious too. I mean, they just got completely destroyed up front. A guy like Malcolm Kuntz and I don't even know where he is. Tyree Wilson, both those guys were nearly non-existent in this game. Those guys, again, they just can't happen if this team's going to be competitive. Obviously, the Cowboys outgained them by a lot. They controlled time of possession by a pretty decent amount. And again, I guess it's the new stat here on the red zone. Again, 3 for 5, 1 for 3. That's, again, a good thing to know there. But again, the Cowboys overall, offensively, were able to take advantage of their drives. They were able to score 3 touchdowns in the second quarter to take the advantage there. That is all I got for you guys in this one. Again, we got power rankings coming tomorrow as we get really close to Thanksgiving. Only 1 week left. Until then, we have some massive matchups next week as well. But until I see you guys for that, enjoy your night.
Worrying about those things, but that's over now as DeBrusque comes on to replace Garland. Brindley rushes in with a wrist shot. Lankinen the save. Brindley on the rebound, scores! Canucks